So the second issue that we're going to be talking about are the legal issues. And one of the mistakes that people make when it comes to their legal issues is ignoring it. It's a big mistake because aging is inevitable, and you created a life, and now you've got to do something with that life. And either you have a say in what happens, or the state will have a say in what happens. And that's not really what you want. So one of the problems in the aging, as it relates to your legal issues, a lot of seniors, probably all of us, have the fear of outliving our money. And especially if you're counting on Medicaid to be a part of your long-term care plan, you are bound by the Medicaid spend down rules, and that could lead to impoverishment for yourself and for your loved ones, for your heirs. Sounds like a really challenging way to go. Does it have to be that way? The answer is no, it doesn't have to be that way. A good estate plan can go a long way in mitigating that. So Attorney Lynn St. Louis from ELG Estate Planning, your specialty is estate plans and elder law. So Lynn, can you tell us a little bit about how a good estate plan can prevent impoverishment?
Thank you, Jan. I would be happy to. And as you know, I love to talk, so I'm going to try not to talk too much. I do want to say something. This is about, the 3 mistakes that make your golden years not so golden. And Jennifer, thank you so much for, talking about Village Plan and the services that you offer. When people age, the concern is not just financial, but it's losing their independence, their autonomy, losing control. And as I'm an elder law attorney, I'm an estate planning attorney, and how I came to this was through really dealing with long-term care. My parents, we had 14 years of long-term care, and for my dad, that was from 2002 through 2010, high-level care in our living room. So he never went to an adult family home or a skilled nursing facility. And when Jennifer was talking about support that she provides, a Village Plan provides to the caregiver spouse, I know firsthand how important that is. My mom, who was a caregiver spouse, actually suffered a devastating stroke in 2010, very much related to all the caregiving burden she had, even with all the support she had. So, we're talking about this, but I want to share how personal it is that, I've been there. I know Jennifer has been there. I know Jan has been there. We've traveled this journey of assisting folks as they age. And one of the things that I learned when I first started was it's overwhelming. What do you do? Who do you talk to? What are you supposed to do? I was the attorney adult child of 2 aging parents. So, I was going to figure that out. One of the things that I learned was before Village Plan, there was Family First Senior Care. And before that, Nancy Dowdy. And she ever hears this, a shout out to her. She was a geriatric care manager who was just so important to helping us, me and my parents, on our journey to making the care situation one that really was good care, good quality care. But boy, we sure learned a lot and sure appreciated all the services that the geriatric care manager provided. I say geriatric, I know they've rebranded because nobody likes to be called geriatric anything, but really valuable services. So if you are facing any kind of long-term care issues or concerns, reaching out to Village Plan, reaching out to certified care managers is a great place to start. I'm an estate planning and elder law attorney. You can also start with us because an elder law attorney is someone who knows not just estate planning, but is familiar and really understands everything else that goes with the loss of autonomy, capacity, diminishment, all of those things that nobody wants. And, you know, hopefully some people won't ever experience that. Most people will experience some sort of decline. And what we try to do is to keep you in control as much as we possibly can. Now, Jennifer explained how Village Plan can help support that person who needs care in their family. What an elder law attorney does is very similar, but from the perspective of what our expertise is, which isn't the care management, but the legal part of it. So that's what I'm going to talk about. How do you keep control over your life when it comes to the legal perspective? So what I wanted to point out was a lot of people don't want to go see a lawyer for whatever reason. Bad experience with a lawyer, or, you know, stereotypes about a lawyer. I have to tell you, elder law attorneys are much nicer than other lawyers. Having said that, though, what we're really looking at is the holistic approach to how we make your life better, your future better. People put off estate planning. Why is that? Well, because you don't have to do any estate planning ever in your life. Why? Why don't you have to do an estate plan? Well, everybody needs an estate plan, and because everyone needs one, if you yourself haven't chosen your own estate plan, guess what? The state has chosen one for you. And people are surprised by that. They go, what do you mean the state has an estate plan for me? I didn't think I needed an estate plan, so I just didn't do anything. The estate has an estate plan? Let me explain how that works. If you don't do your own estate plan, what happens when you die? Well, the state has a dispositive plan, a will, so to speak, for you. Your assets will go where the state says they will go. And that may or may not be what you would have wanted. But surprise, the state has rules for what happens when you die if you haven't put a plan into place. It might not be what you want. What about if you lose the ability to manage your own affairs while you're alive and you haven't put into place your estate plan with the necessary documents like your durable powers of attorney? What happens then if you can't make your own decisions? The state has a plan, and that plan is you will become a ward of the state under a court-ordered guardianship or conservatorship. And that means somebody else is in charge of your affairs, maybe somebody that you've never even met, at your cost. You pay for it, and you have nothing to say over what is happening. So that is the complete opposite of what we want to see, what anybody wants to see. You don't want to be in a position where you have absolutely no control over what has happened in your life. So how do you prevent that from happening? Take the step of doing an estate plan. And I really encourage you to talk to somebody who has that expertise and knowledge about not just estate planning for the general population, but estate planning as it may impact somebody who is retired, who is a senior, who has more concerns about long-term care costs, because that's the type of, when you go to somebody who has that kind of knowledge, you're going to see a much different outcome in terms of the protections you have. So I know I just talked a whole lot about that. Jan, feel free to jump in with any questions, but I am really, really passionate about somebody who, about people using the advocates who are there for them, not just the lawyer, but the care manager, and makes an incredible difference in the outcome of people's lives. So if that's the one takeaway from today, good. I've accomplished what I wanted you to take away, was use these people who are advocates, care managers and lawyers.